Do you constantly find yourself running out of space for items in your base? Or do your items keep going missing and suspect your friend is stealing them like the loot goblin they are? Well, I've got you covered because in this video, I'll be showing you how to build a secret underground storage room capable of storing over 700,000 items. And now, let's get into the tour. Alright, so for this one, I've decided to go with another secret kind of entrance design, and I want you to actually guess where it is based on this image right here. Alright, if you guessed number 3, you were correct. So for this base, you could really go with any kind of entrance you want. You could use a whole piston setup, you could go with a simple staircase, like that's not even secret at all, but for this one, I decided to go with a simple kind of hidden in plain sight design. So all you have to do is find a little pond, kind of like this one, find an area that's 2 blocks deep, and then we pretty much just covered it up using seagrass and also some lily pads. And all we have to do to get down is just jump in the water, head down the tunnel, open up our trapdoor, and down the ladder. And here we are at the storage base. So the shape for this one pretty much just consists of a giant square, and it's actually really easy to make. All you need is pretty much just a really good pickaxe or a good shovel, and also a bunch of spruce wood, of course. And so we actually have 3 different modular wall designs that you can put wherever you want in this base, which is kind of what I like doing with a lot of my underground bases. So our first wall design is this giant wall here, just pretty much full of chests, of course, because it is a storage base. And this one is the most storage efficient one of all of the other designs. So if you wanted to reach the full 700,000 items that I talked about in the intro, then you'd need to build this wall in each different section of the base. But to keep things interesting, I have incorporated a few different designs, like this one over here, which is very similar, except we've moved these barrels here in the center into the center of both of these sections. Then onto the third wall design, we have a simple mirrored version of this one over here. And then onto our final design, I decided to add in a little bit of utility into the storage base, as I figured it could be pretty annoying having to grab items, leave this base, head into your main base, and then craft them or smelt them. So we have a little bit of crafting down here and also some smelting just for your ease of use in this little storage base. Then in the center of the base over here, we have a bunch of barrels. The whole reason of these would be kind of like items that you want to keep separate from the rest of the main storage area. Maybe like your quick access items, like, you know, maybe tools up here, for example, and yeah, you get the point. And then in between each of these sections here, we have, of course, the ladder over here, and then over here we have a armor stand, and then more armor stands in each different section. If you don't really like the armor stand aesthetic, you can of course replace these with some pot plants or anything you like. And then onto the roof and the floor of the base, we have a simple checkered pattern in some stone bricks just in a donut shape around the base. And then on the roof we have a bunch of lanterns just to keep the base nice and bright. I also wanted to quickly mention that the storage room we'll be creating pairs pretty well with the secret underground base that I created recently on my channel, as this base only features this many chests, so you may run out eventually. But what you can do is go ahead and remove the fence post that used to be here and add in the base we'll be creating in this video down this trapdoor. So it's also like a secret base and then a secret storage area within your secret base. And yeah, because we pretty much have all the crafting stuff we'll need right up there, you won't really need to add these utility walls, so I'd recommend just adding in this wall in each section to get the most out of your space down here. And also, if you want to create this secret underground base here, then feel free to click in the top right corner right now, and that'll take you to my tutorial video. But make sure to watch this one first. Alright, and so that's pretty much it for the tour of the storage base. If you like the look of this and want to create it for yourself, we'll get started on the tutorial right now. Alright, so starting off, we're of course going to have to find a little pond, pretty similar to this. It really doesn't matter how big or small it is. You could also build it in a river or in the ocean. The only requirement is that we have a section that goes 2 blocks down, just so you're completely underwater like this. And so now with your pond chosen, we're going to go ahead and find a spot, preferably in like a corner, kind of like this over here. And so I'm happy with this spot, so I'm going to dig down a few blocks just to mark out the area. And now what we can go ahead and do is just kind of conceal it by using some seagrass and also some lily pads. So on each side around the hole, I'm going to place some seagrass. I'm also going to bone meal these ones, and then I'm also going to place a lily pad right on top of the hole like this. Now, of course, if you leave it like this, it might be kind of obvious as it's the only seagrass and lily pad in the entire pond. So what we're going to do is try and blend it in by adding some more seagrass around the place and also some more lily pads. Make sure to add some down here as well, and maybe bone meal some more of these. And then we can also go ahead and add some lily pads around the place as well. Not too many, we want it to look kind of natural, and there we go, that's looking pretty good. Another thing we can do to conceal the hole a little better is extend the dirt further down so it isn't stone, because it might kind of catch your eye if you're like over here. You might notice that there's a bit of stone here and be like, oh, there's actually a hole. So what we can do is replace a few blocks down with some dirt all the way on each side. And there we go. Now as we're walking past, it's not as visible. It kind of blends in with the rest of the dirt around it, so it won't really stick out. And yeah, so that's all there is to the entrance. All right, and now it's time to head down inside our hole and actually start excavating the base. So make sure you have a good pickaxe on you, and also the items in my hotbar here. So we want 5 strips spruce wood, 5 ladders, and a spruce trapdoor. Of course, let's drink our trusty night vision potion.
Bravo 6, going dark.
So from this point here, we're going to go down a little bit further. The base is 5 blocks high, but we want to go down at least probably like an extra 5 blocks. So from here, let's just go down maybe 6 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this block here is going to be the bottom of our base. So now let's go ahead and place some ladders down. We're going to be placing 5 in total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now on this block here, we're going to be placing a trapdoor just like so. It might be kind of hard. Let's just actually go above in the water and place it like so. Open it up and head back down. Now let's destroy a small kind of square shape around this ladder. So we're going to destroy 1 block to the left here, 1 block to the right, and then we're also going to just excavate this area as well, just around here. Now we're going to have to go ahead and actually remove all of these ladders and replace these blocks here with some stripped spruce wood blocks, and then go ahead and place your ladders back on like so. And now to begin the excavating, what we're going to go ahead and do to get the size all correct, let's go ahead and stand right in front of the ladder here. And then from this point here, we're going to be excavating 6 blocks in this direction, 7 including this block. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And now let's just do this on each side real quick. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now with all of that done, all we need to do now is kind of link up all of these ends together to just create a giant square. So let's actually remove the entire top layer like this. Once again, it's 5 blocks high. So extend all of these tunnels up to the full height. And now what we can go ahead and do is head to the end of one of these tunnels. We're going to dig to the right by 7 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then from this point here, we can link back up with our other side like so. And now let's just do the same from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then dig all the way to the end. Nice and easy. And now let's do the same thing on this other half as well. And don't worry if you messed up like I did, you can just remove this tunnel. We're gonna have to remove those blocks anyway. And there we go. So that's our border pretty much all marked out, and we just need to remove all of the blocks inside of this border now. And there we go. We're all done. Just to confirm that you have the size correct, let's just once again stand in front of the ladder here, and we're going to count 7 blocks, including the block we're standing on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it should be the same length from this block here to the wall, and same with each other block as well. And now the next thing we're going to go ahead and do is actually replace all of the blocks that aren't stone with stone. Now it's time to start on all of the corners of the base. So let's just head to any random corner, and then 1 block to the left of the corner here, we're going to be placing in some stripped spruce wood blocks. To the right of this, another block like so, and then we're going to extend these all the way up to the roof. Now let's repeat that on each corner of the base. And now this is the point where you have to decide on what kind of sections you want for each side of your base. I'm going to make all 3 different sections in order, and then I'm going to repeat one of them in a certain section. I actually don't know what configuration I'm going to make this in. So I think facing the ladder here, I'm going to start it off with our giant double chest wall, the one that has all the double chests on this side as well, and then a strip of barrels down the center. So starting off with that design, what we're going to do is find the center of this area here, which is right here. It's in line with our ladder. We're going to place 1 stripped spruce wood block like this, and then we're going to place another one at the top, and then we're going to connect them up using some barrels. Now we're going to have to do some more excavating, so we're basically just going to be pushing these 2 stone walls in by 2 blocks. So let's just go ahead and excavate the entire area like so. And there we go, all done. Let's once again make sure that each exposed block here is a stone block. Don't actually worry about doing it to the roof, as we're going to be replacing all of these blocks with some stone slabs. So let's actually remove this entire top layer of the roof as well. Now let's grab out some stone slabs and actually chuck all of these in where this roof should be. And that will make sure that our chests can actually open, the ones that are touching the roof, just like so. And let's just extend this slab roof all the way to the end. Now with that done, we're going to extend this central pillar to the back. So let's place in a bunch of stripped spruce those wood pillars just like this. And now we're actually going to be removing this block here, and then in line with that, we're going to be removing this stone block and also this one as well. And in here, we're going to be chucking in some lanterns. So let's chuck on 3 lanterns just like that. And now we're going to be filling up the entire area with some double chests. So just go ahead and place in a whole bunch of double chests. You're going to need quite a lot for this one section. And it might be a little bit hard placing these chests here on the end, as we don't really have a lot of room. So we might actually have to remove part of the pillar here so that we can place in these chests. And now I kind of messed up here and and don't build it like how I just did, as it's going to be really hard to place it. Make sure you start from the left side first. And there we go, that's how you should do it. Now we can remove this pillar and add in the rest of our chests like so. So there we go, now with that side done, let's go ahead and repeat this on the other side as well. And once again, remove part of the wall so that we can actually place in these double chests, and then just replace all of these blocks as well. There we go, now with all of the chests added in for this section, let's go ahead and add in our extra little details. So on the front face here, we're going to be adding in some stairs. So place in some stairs like so on the top and bottom of this pillar here, and then we're going to repeat it on the opposite side as well. And then we're going to be adding in the same kind of stair design on these pillars as well. So let's chuck those in real quick on each side. And then on the top and the bottom in between all of these stairs, let's connect them up using some spruce trapdoors. Repeat this on the other side as well, of course. And now the last thing to do for this wall is add on some spruce signs on the central pillar on the bottom and also the top. And there we go, that's our first wall design done. If you wanted this base to be purely storage, then just go ahead and repeat this exact same design in each section like so. If you want it to be more decorative, then I'm going to show you how to build the other kinds of walls that I made. Alright, so directly to the right of this first wall that we've created here, let's go ahead and pretty much do the exact same thing, except we're going to be replacing this middle central block of chests here with some barrels, and also this central pillar will be a little different. So once again, let's start off with our central pillar. We're going to be lining this up with the ladder here, and let's extend this all the way up like so. And then we're going to do the exact same thing we did previously. Let's excavate 2 blocks in on each of these walls, and then also, of course, make sure each exposed block is a stone block. And then we're also going to remove the top layer once again, as we're going to be placing in some stone slabs for the roof. So let's throw in those stone slabs while we're at it. Now let's add in our central pillar, extended all the way over to the back here, and we're also going to take out these blocks like we did last time, not that one, whoopsie daisy, and we're going to be placing in some lanterns in those missing blocks, just like so. Now it's time to add in our chests once again, but instead of the middle chest, we'll be adding in some barrels. So let's place in a layer of 2 like this, extend this all the way up to the top. Then we're going to leave a gap in the center. We can actually place in our barrels while we're at it, why not? Now this might be kind of hard to place them in. It'll probably be easier if you just place them all facing downwards. So just go ahead and place them all while looking at the roof. You might have to dig 2 blocks down in like how I have, so that they're all facing downwards. And now let's just place in the rest of our chests. And now, of course, for these 2 double chests, let's remove a couple of blocks so we can actually place them in. Nice and easy. And now let's just repeat this real quick on the opposite side. Now it's time to add in the extra little details. So we're going to be placing in our spruce stairs once again on each corner, and then the same thing on this side as well, and then connect them all up with some spruce trapdoors along the top and bottom. And there we go, that's the second storage wall design done. Now, instead of doing the next wall to the right again, we're actually going to go back in the center of the room here, facing our first wall, and we're going to turn to the left, and this wall is going to be our crafting and also our smelting. Okay, so starting off once again, let's add in our central pillar like this, lined up with the center of the base. And we're first going to start off on the left side, the crafting side. So along the top here, let's add in a strip of barrels. Let's also just do the same thing on this other side, because they're of course needed there as well. Then let's add in some spruce stairs underneath these barrels on either corner like this, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side as well. And then below these, on each side, we're going to place in some spruce trapdoors, and then also in front of them as well, underneath the barrels. And then we're going to leave the central block out here and add on a lantern. Now let's just quickly repeat this on the other side. So trapdoors on the bottoms, on the tops, and also our lantern like so. Next, let's add in our crafting blocks along the bottom. So firstly, on the left and right side, we're going to place in some spruce logs. Then in this order, we're going to place a smithing table, crafting table, and finally an anvil. Then let's also go ahead and remove these 3 stone blocks and replace them with some bookshelves. Now you can of course replace any of these crafting blocks with whatever you need. You could also replace these blocks here with whatever crafting blocks you wanted. I kind of wanted to keep it minimal on the crafting blocks because it's mainly supposed to be a storage base, and I felt like adding more crafting blocks was just turning this into an actual base design. So feel free to do whatever you want with this section. And now to finish it up, let's just chuck on a couple of little details. So on the left spruce block here, let's add on a pot with an azalea inside. On the right side, we're going to chuck another pot, this time with a cornflower, and then right in the middle on top of our crafting table, let's chuck on a medium amethyst bud. So that's our crafting section done. Now let's head to the other wall here and add in our smelting. So along the bottom here, let's chuck in a whole row of furnaces just like this. Now above this, let's add in some details. We're going to chuck on a stone pressure plate on the left one. Directly to the right of this, let's place a campfire and extinguish it with a shovel. And then 1 block spaced away, let's chuck on a couple of candles. I'm going to leave these unignited because I can't be bothered getting a flint and steel, but feel free to do whatever you want with them. And now we're going to be adding in some paintings instead of some bookshelves on this section here. So to do that, what we're going to do is place a stone block directly underneath the lantern here and place on a painting. That way we can get a single block painting. And now we need a double wide painting. So let's place a block here, and then that should actually work. Never mind, it doesn't. We're gonna have to remove this lantern, place another block there, and that way we should get a double wide painting. And then just remove these blocks and chuck your lantern back on. And there we go, that's it for our crafting and smelting section. All that I'm gonna do now is repeat this exact same wall design on this side. So once again, directly in the center, let's add in our 2 spruce blocks like this on the bottom and the top, and then in between them, we're gonna connect them up with some barrels. Now let's excavate a 2 deep layer like this once again. Then of course, make sure each exposed block is a stone block. Let's also excavate our roof here and replace all of these blocks with some stone slabs. Then let's remove this block and this block once again, chuck in our lanterns. Also add in our pillar in the center. Let's actually leave these 2 blocks removed so that we can place in our chests. And let's just extend these down like so. Chuck on our lantern right here. And now let's add in our chests. Now we can replace our pillar blocks here, and then let's just finish up with our final section of all of the chests. Replace these blocks here and also our pillar, of course. Now let's go ahead and add in our little details. So we're going to be placing in our same stairs like this in each corner of each wall. Then on the bottom and top, let's connect them up using some spruce trapdoors. Repeat this on the other side as well. And then we're finally going to place on some spruce signs on the top and bottom, spruce block in the center like this. Okay, so we're now done with all of the main walls of the base. Now let's go ahead and add in our little details on the central area right here. So firstly, let's grab out a bunch of barrels, and we're going to be placing them in each corner like this. It might be easier to place these upside down, so let's actually remove 2 blocks down like this, and then in this corner right here, let's place in our first barrel and extend this all the way down to the ground, and then we're going to do this in each corner. So just place your barrels facing downwards like this, leaving a gap in the center where our ladder pillar block is. And there we go, that's all of our barrels added in. Now in the central area here, let's add in our extra details. So we're going to be placing a spruce log on the bottom and also on the top. In front of these, let's place in some spruce signs. Then below this top log here, let's place in a lantern, and then finally an armor stand. And now we're just going to be repeating this exact same thing in each section. So our 2 logs, our lantern, spruce signs on the top and bottom, and then once again in this section as well, exact same thing, signs, logs, lantern, and armor stand. And now just go ahead and throw on your armor of choice. I'm going to go with some chainmail, some iron, and probably some diamond as well. I forgot to put an armor stand in this one, whoopsie daisy. If you don't like the idea of the armor stands, you can of course just throw on maybe a pot with a flower or anything inside in each of these sections. You could also put maybe some amethyst crystals or something that would look pretty nice as well. But yeah, to finish up, let's chuck on our diamond armor, nice and easy. Now the only thing left to do is the floor and also our lanterns on the ceiling. So we're going to be starting off with the floor first, and it's basically just a checkered pattern of stone bricks in a ring around the base. To make things easier, what we're going to go ahead and do is head to any corner of the base, stand right here, 1 block away from this, like facing into the central pillar of the base. We're going to be placing on a stone brick like this, and then we're going to place in another 2 like so, and then let's also go ahead and place in some more stone bricks like this to add a checkered pattern of 5 stone bricks and 4 stone bricks in like this square. It's kind of hard to explain, but yeah, let's just go ahead and quickly do this in each corner. So add in your stone bricks like so. We do same thing on this side. Whoopsie daisy. Oh my god, I cannot click today. Holy. So there's our 4 squares in each corner, and now we're going to be connecting them up using a checkered pattern. So we're just going to be repeating this exact same thing all the way until we reach the other side. Just like that. Now let's do this on each section. And there we go, that's the completed floor design. So it's pretty much everything's just checkered with stone bricks, except for this outer ring all the way around the base and also this inner ring, if that makes any sense. And now to finish up with the lanterns for the base, what we're going to do is stand on this middle block here on our initial square here that we created. If you just imagine that this is the square here, we're going to stand on the very central stone brick block, look straight up and place on your lantern, and let's do this on each corner. So there we go, that's each corner lantern added in. Now we're going to add one in the middle of these. So to make it nice and easy, we just line ourselves up with these lanterns and then also line ourselves up with the ladder block here and chuck on your lantern and just do this on each side. And there we go, we're all completely finished with our secret underground storage base room thing. I don't really know what to call it. But yeah, once again, I highly recommend customizing this to make it your own. If you want more storage, add in this exact wall on each section. If you want more utility, maybe add in some more crafting blocks. But yeah, that's it for this tutorial. Feel free to leave some suggestions in the comments for some other tutorial videos you want me to do. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.